Boom! What's going on, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls of all ages? How's it going tonight? It's Friday night.
June 2nd.
June 2nd. Yes, happy June. It's Pride Month. Lots going on in June. We're very excited about it, and we're kicking it off with some pure, unadulterated hangout. That's right. That's right. Is that the expression? Is that the correct expression? I don't know. You all know what I'm talking about. That's right. It is episode 23 of Fans of Something Live. And if you are new to the channel, first of all, welcome. This is our very chill live show. We have two different kinds of live shows with guests. The other one is more of a we have like a pre-planned kind of thing going on there. That's the evening withs. These ones are much more relaxed. These are just chill. There's no prep that goes into it. It's just we get people on that we find interesting, that may or may not be in the movie space that we inhabit, and we hang out with them for about an hour and a half. You never know, and that's what we're doing tonight. It's episode 23, and we're hanging out with Pure Hangout. So it's
just hanging out.
Perfect. Yeah. And you may remember him from he was on, I'm trying to remember, the Mount Rushmore stream, and that was a lot of fun. That was a few months ago, I feel like, at this point.
It was not a few months ago.
I think it was maybe like a month and a half ago, 2 months, something like that. Yeah.
We need somebody like a, hey Jamie, pull up.
Yeah, we need like our own Joe Rogan producer. Hey Jamie, pull this up real quick. If you are new, by the way, we do have the option to super chat in, and we're just going to say it here at the top. We're not going to keep reiterating it throughout the whole show. Like we have done for May, June is the same thing. And then after that, we might switch it up. But every dollar donated through the month of June, at the end of the month, I will be performing push-ups. That is right. Yes. If you checked out the video previously for May, hopefully you found that entertaining. It got a lot of nice comments in the comment section. So I guess you guys like that stuff. But we're doing the same thing. So if you would like to support the channel on that level, I mean, just being here is already supportive enough, and we really appreciate all of you. But if you want to go that extra step and financially donate to the channel, every dollar equals one push-up that yours truly has to do at the end of the month.
Maybe I'll do one.
Maybe she'll do one. Did you have fun filming it, though?
I did.
Yeah.
I got a lot of good comments on my camera work.
A lot of people felt like it had like an old school home video kind of vibe, just the 90s thing going on there. So it was kind of cool. So there's the PSA right out of the gate. We're not going to keep reiterating it, but it's up to you if you want to see me perform push-ups. We did 40 for May. Can we go beyond 40?
Do you want to go beyond 40?
June? I kind of don't, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's see. Should we do the chat first, or should we just bring in?
Let's bring them in.
Bring them in. Okay.
Don't keep them waiting.
Don't. All right. We're not going to keep them waiting. So if you don't know who we're talking to tonight, his channel is linked down below. It's that little @ thing. You click it, takes you right over. Please go check him out. He has some really cool videos on his channel, some random rankings, just pulling random movies off his shelf and ranking them to whatever criteria he comes up with. And then he obviously asks everybody to, in the comment section, rank them as well. He did one recently that he said something in there that blew my mind. So we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to get to the bottom of what he said in one of his videos. I'm sure he knows exactly what I'm talking about. So we have to get to the bottom of that. And of course, we're going to get to whatever comments, questions, concerns you all have in the chat as well. So please help us welcome back to the channel. It's not his first time. He's returning to the channel. It is Pure Hangout.
Eddie and Haley, thanks for having me on.
Whoa.
What's going on?
Also, that Mount Rushmore, I just checked. It was 2 months ago.
See?
No way.
I'm your Jamie today.
2 freaking months ago. You're right, Jamie. 2 months. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild? But
Yeah.
that was a fun one. That was a fun stream because your very first director you named, I had no clue who you were talking to.
Yeah. I was a little worried. It was like crickets, and I was like, "Uh-oh, did I do
Wait.
the assignment wrong?"
No. Who was it again? Do you remember?
Yeah, Julian Schnabel.
Julian Schnabel.
Schnabel.
Yeah, he's actually a painter. He's a painter and a filmmaker, but he has made films about artists, Jean-Michel Basquiat and Vincent van Gogh. And I just think he does a phenomenal job of portraying an artist while they're working. And a lot of times it just looks so fake. The acting is so bad when you're watching somebody paint, but he's a painter. He knew how to direct them and gave them the research that they needed to take on those roles. So I've just always been really impressed with, like, wow, he gets it right, obviously, because he's a painter, but he gets it right.
How do you, oh wait, hold on. Can you see, so what is it? Julian, Julian?
I think so.
And Schnabel, SCH.
SCHA.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. We're going to pull him up here
yeah.
because I have never heard of this gentleman and I want to see if anyone else has. So we're going to share our screen here real quick for just 1 second. Then we'll get back to the program. But this is who you're talking about right here?
Yes. An older him right there. Yep.
Okay. And then, hold on, let me fix the page. Boom. I kind of like that setup better. And then let's go to, okay, so these are his films right here. Oh, he did Before Night Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've heard of that film.
And then Diving Bell and the Butterfly did pretty well. I remember watching that one. But then the 2 big ones for me are Basquiat and At Eternity's Gate, which is the Van Gogh film.
That's the one I've heard of. That's the one I've heard of.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe was nominated for Best Actor for that one.
Oh. Wow, no joke. Okay, so he's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 films. 6 films.
Very tiny filmography.
Interesting. Yeah, this is the one that I've heard of, Before Night Falls, and this is Javier Bardem's kind of breakthrough, apparently.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, when you said it during the initial Mount Rushmore, I remember reacting like what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I got scared. I was like, oh no, I did this wrong. I was supposed to say like Spielberg for every single one or something.
I mean, look, I totally appreciate when someone just left fields everybody, just comes out of left field and that's the whole point. Like that was really the whole point of doing it. Cause I think by the end of that stream, like we had talked about Spielberg to you know what I mean? To right. Eternity's Gate.
Yes, exactly.
So it was nice to get that different kind of flavor going on. And he was your Lincoln, correct?
Yes.
Number 4. Yeah. So he's the Lincoln of your
Mount
Rushmore. And then your George Washington was Spielberg? Was it
Spielberg? Yep.
Okay.
Yep. For Hook. I mean, Hook's my favorite movie of all time. I love pretty much everything he's done, but Hook's my favorite of all time.
Oh, gosh. Have you seen Hook?
I have not.
You haven't seen Hook?
Check that one out.
The only live action Peter Pan movie that I've seen was like one of the very first remakes that Disney did.
Okay. Like, is it the 2004? Is that what you're talking about?
Around there, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it was like a blonde kid.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Disney did that one actually. I think that might have been someone else because it somewhat recently hit public domain, and then it just everybody was like, "We gotta make stuff."
Yeah, watch out. We'll be getting a Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, but for Peter Pan and Wendy.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure. Yeah.
But no, Hook is not the traditional Peter thing anyway. That's
right.
That's what's really interesting about it. Because he's the boy that never grows up, right? And in that movie, Robin Williams that's who he is. And he's grown up. And he's grown up. Yeah. So already it's very unorthodox.
Yeah. He left Neverland and for love and then grew up. But then Hook wants him back, and he does so by kidnapping his kids. And Peter Pan, who's forgotten all about Neverland, has to go back and relearn how to find his inner child, because he completely lost it. He becomes a workaholic. He's a yuppie, all of that. Doesn't pay much attention to his kids. And he, has to find his inner child.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
no, it's definitely one of Spielberg's, kind of lesser films in terms of just what the name Spielberg means to a lot of people. But
Right.
I remember when I watched it, I was like, first of all, Dustin Hoffman is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He steals the show. Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook. Julia Roberts is Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell. Mm-hmm.
She was really good. And yeah,
Bob Hoskins is Smee.
Yep. So it's a fun movie. I mean, again, when you look at the vast filmography of Steven Spielberg, it's sort of like, okay, I understand why this is, towards that bottom here,
and he feels that way too. He's disappointed in it. He wanted to make it a musical, but he got a little shy towards that idea. He was intimidated by it. So, and I think they even filmed a few songs, but then he was like, let's just make it a normal movie. So he kind of regrets that, but I don't know. He doesn't like it, but I want to meet him someday and say, hey, there's a whole generation of kids adults now that love that movie. You did nothing wrong. It's okay. You don't need to feel that way. We love it.
Yeah. All right. So the first of all, let us make you full screen here for a second so you can just really kind of just quickly talk about your channel for anyone that for anyone that hasn't seen Pure Hangout. Just let us know what it's about, and then we'll get into that thing I was talking about from one of your videos that just kind of blew my mind wide open.
Pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
So yeah, my channel Pure Hangout, it was actually sort of born out of the pandemic. The first day that my job was like, you cannot come to work, you have to stay home. I was like, you know what? This is the opportunity. Let's start that YouTube channel I've been thinking about for, 8 years, whoever knows how many years. And I went for it, and it sort of started out as daily vlogging where I tried to incorporate discussions of cinema in my normal daily life, like, I don't know, cooking food, and then I come up with a reason why maybe that meal made me think of a film or something like that, and then talking about it. But then it's sort of when life gets busy, when you have twin babies at that time, toddlers, it sort of evolved because I didn't have a lot of time to film. So I started doing these quicker one-take videos that I called random rankings. And basically what those are, I go to my movie collection behind me and then pick out 3 movies at random. Then I rank them and then encourage the viewers to rank them as well. And that's not what my channel is, I guess, just because I've done so many different things, but that's probably what I do most now are my random rankings. But I'll do I'll buy toys, toy hauls, movie hauls, things like that. I'll do movie reviews. Still daily vlogs. I took the kids to the zoo, the Indianapolis Zoo, the other day, and I put that up on YouTube. So it's pretty eclectic, but usually movies are the focus.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So okay. So you don't want to be like if you had a trajectory of what your channel will evolve into as time progresses on. Do you want the random rankings to be like your stamp kind of thing, or do you want is there something else you haven't discovered yet?
If we're talking like ultimate goal, I'd like move. Are you Georgians or Floridians?
We're Georgians. Yeah, we're Savannah.
Okay.
Savannah.
I'd do my best to get down to Florida and become a theme park vlogger. I know there are too many of them, but that's what I would do.
Dude, you almost look like Tim Tracker. Tim Tracker.
That's how I learned about him. I had a friend who watched him, and they're like, you look like this guy on YouTube. You need to watch him. And then I started watching him, and he doesn't have it anymore, but yeah, he used to have a handlebar mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how I learned about him and Disney vlogging at all. Just a friend said, you look like this guy. And I started watching him. Adam the Woo. Do you know that guy?
Yep.
I don't know. There are others down there. And, those are the 2 main ones that I keep up with. But yeah, I mean, if I could do anything, that's what I would do. I know there are too many of them. That's oversaturated, but I'd do it if I could afford it.
Well, I mean, there's an oversaturation of everything.
True.
At this point, it's like, what else can you do?
Just do what makes you happy.
Do what makes you happy. it'll stick to people. There's one guy that I follow, Rick's Flicks. Have you heard of Rick's Flicks?
I don't think so. I'll have to look.
So,
Maybe.
Rixflix. He's kind of he's like in 125K when it comes to the theme park vlogging, but he like live streams every Saturday and he calls it Saturday.
Okay.
But he's usually at Universal Studios. That's where he kind of primarily focuses on.
Right.
So, but you would do Disney.
Yeah, probably. They let you film on rides. So
Yep.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So you would, so that's like the ultimate thing is what you would want to do is
Yeah, that's like if I win the lottery type stuff, I can't afford to just get up and go.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, something movie focused. And that's the nice thing about those theme parks is they are, film centric. So, I really wouldn't feel like a deviation. I did go to Disney World. Was it not the most recent February, but the previous February, and I vlogged all of that. And that was a lot of fun to do. And I was an amateur theme park vlogger. Obviously, I just went in and tried it, but I think they turned out pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one thing when you live there and you have the annual pass and you can literally go whenever you want. I know when we went just this past like 2 weekends ago, I was like, I don't really even want to film it. Like, I want to make content, but at the same time, because we don't go often now.
Right.
So I just want to enjoy it, like I don't want to be worried about, oh, I got to get a thing real quick,
Right.
I want to take it in. So it's definitely something you have to live there kind of deal.
Right.
If you're going to be visiting, I don't know, like, I think it's best to just kind of put the camera away and, enjoy your overall
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of tried to find time to split it because that was my kid's first trip. So I also wanted to document that so that they could always look back on it. There are a lot of things that I've done. It's like, oh man, I wish I had video of that, just so I could look back on it. And that's another reason why I like doing this is to, look back at fun things that we did as a family. So like they'll still watch our zoo trips. We have a few of them and they really enjoy those.
Yeah. I mean, it's great because as long as YouTube's around, which I mean, I don't see YouTube kind of going anywhere anytime soon. So
right.
It'll always be there,
Yeah.
So
for a while anyway. But yeah, like film, I don't know, random rankings. If I could, obviously my setup, this is just my basement. This was just thrown together because we used to have a really nice movie room, but then we had to turn that into the playroom for the kids. Actually, what'd we do? I can't even remember now. Like all of that is like a blur at this point. Like when they were born and we were rearranging the house. But, our movie room turned into their bedroom. That's what it was. And then we had to like shift an office into a playroom. So all of my movie stuff just ended up down here. It's so disorganized. And I don't know, I guess that's another like goal. It would be nice to have a nicer setup and everything, and then make those random rankings look a little bit more professional, YouTube professional anyway, I think that would be fun. But I don't know, lo-fi is nice too, though,
Yeah, it feels homey.
Yeah. Yeah, it is nice. Also, and we haven't forgotten about you, chat. I'm coming right over in just a second. We were talking beforehand. One of your other trademark things amongst your random rankings, your beautiful facial hair, is your internet.
Oh gosh. Hopefully that's fixed. I feel like that might be fixed. Hasn't happened yet.
I haven't seen you freeze in a as the kids say, in a minute.
Right.
I haven't seen you freeze in a minute. So
that's a my laptop issue because right now I'm using my wife's laptop. I just wanted to test it out because it is annoying. I know people, it's kind of funny. It's become my trademark when I freeze, every like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, however often it is. It's like, it's like clockwork. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if it's maybe my laptop and not an internet issue. And I think it might be because so far we're doing pretty good.
You have not. So on your end, you also freeze?
What I see is actually a black screen with like a spinny little wheel.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I always think I disappear, but I think everyone else sees me like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny if that's what you actually did too. Like
right.
Kind of like Click, like Adam Sandler's Click. You just
right.
That'd be kind of funny.
I was gonna say, how old is your laptop?
Oh gosh. Yeah, we don't have anything new in the house. I mean that's probably 10-ish, 10-ish
Oh.
years old.
10 years, and then your wife's is
And my wife's is newer. She does a lot of work online. Hers is, more important than mine. So hers is probably, 5 years, maybe
I'll-
4.
I would say, just if you ever do any live streams going forward, just be like,
Yeah.
hey honey, can I borrow it
I
real
gotta
quick?
borrow it.
So cool. Glad we figured that out.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see who is joining us tonight. And then we are going to get into whatever conversation pops up from
You're
here.
gonna say the big thing that blew your mind.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So hold on. Let's get to the thing, and then we'll talk about one of the videos that just kind of, I was like, what? I even commented on it. Adrian saying hello. Hello, Adrian.
Hello, hello.
Caveman movies and more. Hey,
Caveman.
how's everyone doing tonight? Make sure to smash that like button for @PureHangout. Absolutely. Judd, what's going on, Judd? Can't stay long, says Gavin. Got to get back to the birthday celebrations. Just wanted to say
Birthday.
hello. Oh,
Happy
dude.
birthday.
It's your
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Wow.
Did not know that. Laren says happy birthday.
Hey, Laren.
Everything. Happy birthday. Boom. Hey, Ed, Haley, Derek. Hope you're all well tonight. Yeah. It's good where we are. Is there any kind of weather or anything where you are?
I know it's just actually gotten really hot. I saw it was hotter here than in Florida, I think yesterday anyway, which is, I live in Illinois, central Illinois. But my 2 girls, my twins, they're 4, they both caught a cold, and it was like 10 days ago. And I never caught it. And I was like, I think I'm in the clear, but I can hear my voice is a little deeper than normal. So I don't know. I don't know how I'll feel tomorrow.
Right.
Oh.
We got Holland Oates saying hello.
Hey, Holland.
Come on, Holland.
Well,
We got Tracy's lovely boyfriend, Max, saying, what's up, awesome folks? Obviously,
hello.
Tracy, nerdy film girl. Caveman says, smash that like button for Derek. Man, you got an Advent follower right here.
Yeah, I've known him for a while.
Bin Buster. Hello, Bin Buster.
Ben.
We got Vin. Hey, FOS and Derek, some of my favorite people here tonight. Appreciate that.
Hello, hello.
What do we got here? Oh, just saying hey to everybody. Cool. I like it. I've heard of At Eternity's Gate, and that's it.
That's it.
I'm in the same boat.
It's very good. It's kind of an ethereal film. It's very artsy, I guess.
Artsy.
Where Basquiat, which is the other one he made, is a little more straightforward. It does have some surreal elements to it, but they're very minor. They're more kind of like dream sequences in a way, daydream sequences, but they work. They're not difficult to get through.
Is he in the Criterion Collection?
I bet he does have a film. I know those 2 are not, because
Okay.
I probably would own them if they were, but maybe some of his other films are.
Well, because you said artsy, so I just immediately thought Criterion.
I should look into that. I don't know.
Yeah, Vin says
Jamie,
the Mount
look it up.
Rushmore stream seems like yesterday.
Yeah,
He
2 months.
He is our Jamie tonight. Yeah, it does seem like yesterday. Yep.
That was a fun one.
Vinicio also joining. What's up, my peoples?
How's it going?
Vinicio. Then we got he brought back Lepke Vision.
Oh, old
Wow.
school.
Yeah, he's going old school.
I just watched some of his shorts. So that's like Cody. I'm sure everyone knows. But yeah, I found that channel maybe through watching your video of him. Is that right? Is that because he's been on here?
He's been on FOS Live, yeah.
Yeah, and I watched that, and I think that's how I found his old channel. And I watched some of his shorts that he's made. So that was fun.
Well, I honestly thought he retired it or deleted it or something because he has a Dude Who Loves Movies now. So interesting that you kind of kept it. What did you lose your password to your Dude Who Loves Movies? You got locked out.
That's a 2-factor.
Yeah, see, look, even Vinicio, Cody, you changed your name. I love Hook. Rufio.
Yeah.
Hook's a classic.
Agreed.
It is. It is to a lot of people. It is. I keep hearing more and more about it. Like, I think you might be the first person I've heard that literally calls it their favorite movie. So that's cool. But I have heard a lot of people that are just like, yeah, like Hook's underrated.
Right.
It doesn't deserve the hate it gets. Sort of like Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. It's kind of gained its own
Right.
its own
Yeah.
following. 5 years ago, I learned Hook was a flop, but it felt like a huge movie when I was a kid.
Yeah, I was the same way. As a kid, all my friends liked it. I liked it. My family liked it. I thought it was a success. I had no idea that it wasn't until I got like this, was it Leonard Maltin? I can't remember. I got some film criticism book that had a list of all of and a bunch of movies, and it gave them like star ratings, and it had a low rating. And I was like, what the heck? What? Why is this not? Why are they giving this a low rating? It's a fantastic movie. And then I read Roger Ebert's review. Roger Ebert, I assume you know him in the South, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I never know, because obviously I live in Illinois and he's from my hometown. So I never know if I think his celebrity is much bigger than it actually is.
I think it's safe to say he's like the
critic.
The critic. Yeah.
And he, has the whole thumbs up thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read his review for it and he didn't like it either. Like, he gave it a thumbs down. Technically, I don't think it was on the show, but he gave it a star rating that is a thumbs down to him. And I was just like, I do not agree with you at all. None of what you're saying makes sense. Everything that you are criticizing has purpose in that movie. And yeah, I was amazed too when I found out it was a flop, because I had no clue as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. 100%. I think Roger Ebert, chat room, let us know if you agree or not. But I think he's like the Tom Brady of movie criticism.
Right.
Unfortunately, no longer with us. But
yeah.
Dell on movies. What's going on, Dell?
Hey, Dell.
Dell will definitely be on a future episode. Just nice. gotta figure out the schedules and everything, but definitely want to get Dell on. Okay, so what's going on, Cody? Did you yeah, okay, damn, I didn't realize I was signed into Lefty Vision. Okay, there we go. We figured it out. What else? Okay, here we go. Question: what is your favorite Marvel movie? Do you like DC movies, or are you a Marvel fan?
So, my favorite Marvel movie is not from the MCU. It's X-Men, the very first X-Men movie, just because that was a dream come true. Seeing that in the theater as a kid was like all that I ever wanted to happen. And it happened. So even though they've made better X-Men movies, that one will, I think, always be my favorite one. And then I do think the X-Men franchise has some incredible lows, like terrible, terrible films in it. But I would still say that's my favorite Marvel franchise.
Okay.
Marvel characters. If you can tell behind me, most of the figures that you see behind me are Beast from X-Men. He's my favorite character.
Okay.
Right there.
Yep.
And so, yeah, he's not even in the first one. Actually, the voice of him is of the 90s animated series. He's the truck driver that drives Rogue to Laughlin City. So that truck driver is who does the voice of Beast in the animated series from the 90s. But I do like DC also. And I like that the DC movies are not as well constructed as the MCU. I feel like the MCU is almost too slick, too polished, to where I'm a little less interested in them, because it just always works, Yeah. And it doesn't have any grit or wrinkles or scars or anything like that on it. It's just like, here's a nice, smooth movie, So
predictable.
Yeah, like all of that. It feels like a machine. I don't want to talk badly about the artists who are working very hard on it, but it feels a little too well oiled for me. Where the DC, they were just struggling, and it was kind of exciting to like go to those movies and be like, what's this gonna be like? Because you had no clue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what is your favorite Marvel movie? Either in the, well, definitely not the MCU, because right?
I don't think I've.
You haven't seen a single Marvel movie?
Oh,
I
wow.
saw the first Doctor Strange in theaters for some reason.
But you haven't seen like the well, I know you haven't seen the Spider-Man movies with Toby. Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
You don't have them.
That's
For
pretty
me,
impressive.
yeah, right. For
Yeah.
me, it's favorite Marvel movie is definitely either Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. Like I think the go-to is 2, but man, something about that first one is really good as well.
Yeah.
If I watched the Deadpool movies, I would like those.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Deadpool, yeah.
Those are great.
I actually haven't seen any of the Hugh Jackman Wolverine movies, like any of them. I haven't seen X-Men,
Logan.
X2, Last
Oh,
Stand,
really?
Logan. Yeah, haven't seen any of
Wow.
those.
Those were all like, that was like at the very beginning of it too. Were you just not interested in X-Men?
It was, yeah. No, well, because I'm 92. That's when I was born, 1992. So what? I was only 8 when that came out,
Mm-hmm.
2000. So I think Spider-Man is really where I was in that prime, like kind of like,
Right.
plus it was just more appealing to a kid. It's like X-Men
Yeah.
is much,
Spider-Man.
yeah, like
More
X-Men. I feel
dramatic.
like,
X-Men's more dramatic. They take themselves very seriously.
and I mean, it looked darker. I don't know if it actually was, but it just looked darker.
Yeah.
X-Men.
Right.
Spider-Man just sounded fun and
bright
whatnot.
colors, the bright red, the blue. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember vividly being hyped beyond belief for Spider-Man 2. And I remember leaving the theater of Spider-Man 2 going like, that was such a good movie.
Right.
And being so hyped for Spider-Man 3. And there we go. So, and I haven't seen any of the, I saw the first Tom Holland one, but I haven't seen any other ones. The Andrew Garfield ones I checked out because I like that they were just kind of, they're like this
Right.
weird in between thing. But definitely more of a DC fan, I would say. I think
Yeah.
DC is definitely more up both of our alleys. Yeah. So what's your favorite DC movie?
I'd probably go with Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
Oh yeah.
Right, Tim Burton.
Yeah. That's a fantastic choice. I think those are probably my favorite as well. But if we're looking at the newer DCEU, which I guess is about to crumble here pretty soon, might be the Suicide Squad. I really like Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
Polka Dot.
Look at that.
Look at that
Look
guy.
at that.
Yeah. When I saw this guy, when I watched that movie, I instantly fell in love with him as a villain, and I was like, I gotta buy all of his toys. He's so cool.
Polka Dot Man.
Yours is the Joker or Batman 89?
My favorite DC movie is Joker. Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix for sure.
Yeah. And I like that they do that. They have like all these different like universes that have no crossover to, I guess they do now because of what's going on in the Flash movie that's about to come out. But it's nice that the Joaquin movie is its complete own thing, and isn't tainted by all the issues and troubles and producer behind the scenes type issues that were going on with the DCEU. It's its own thing and feels very complete and well made.
Yeah. I can't see Joaquin Phoenix getting canceled anytime soon.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, like Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone's seeing the Flash for Michael,
Right.
So I think Warner Brothers is like, I feel like we're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were maybe trying to position themselves as that studio. You know what? We're just going to move forward on everything.
Yeah. Tracy, what's going on, Tracy?
Hello.
Love that Pure
Hello.
Hangout is hanging out with Eddie. All right, so we'll because there's a lot more comments, but we don't want to forget this. So I'll star Tracy's comment here so we don't lose it. And okay, so there was a video, one of your random rankings, where you pulled. I definitely remember Sweeney Todd was in there, and was it Spider-Man 3?
No, was it? I don't think
Was it?
so.
It was like a really like it was a very like it was a very it was Sweeney, Terminator 3, and I'm forgetting the third movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up really quick. I got my videos
Yeah,
here.
Jamie's
It
pulling it up.
Oh, it was Fantastic Four.
That's right. Yes, Jessica
Yeah,
Alba's Fantastic Four.
right.
So what hooked me was because when I see your thumbnails, like I just look at the movies and I'm like, oh, okay, I know those movies.
Right.
So what hooked me was Terminator 3 and Sweeney Todd because I love Sweeney Todd, and
Yeah.
Terminator 3 is whatever, but I'm a Cameron guy. Uh so I watched it, right? And there's a point in the video where Derek says something along the lines of I actually cried during a scene in Terminator 3. And right there I was like, "Oh, whoa, really? Like Terminator 3 made you cry?" But I was like, "Okay, all right. Hey, you know what? To each their own." And then you followed up with something along the lines of, which is the only time in the entire franchise that I've cried.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold up, hold the presses, stop everything right now. You're telling me the end of T2 didn't make you cry?
Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe just because actually I have no clue why. I don't know why because I recognize that it's incredibly emotional, but my theory is I watched that first as a very young kid, you know. So I've always known the way things are going to play out. So I'm not watching it with fresh eyes, where with Terminator 3, I'm watching it with more seasoned emotions, you know? So maybe that's why. That's the only thing I can come up with. But yeah, I just remember like getting choked up and I was like, what the heck? What's going on? This movie of all movies? Like it
Yeah.
surprised me as well.
And that scene, because if anything, because like when you said that, I was thinking, oh, okay, so he gets teary eyed at the end of the movie, which is, it's a pretty sad ending, Terminator
Yeah.
3. It's, it's pretty emotional. It's probably the best part of the whole movie, in my opinion. But, and then you're like, it's the scene where Arnold is like struggling with his, like, he's like going back and forth between wanting to terminate John Connor or save him. And then he just punches the car. And
Right.
you were like, yeah, like a little tear came down.
Yeah. He won. He beat the programming.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
It's
what did it.
I mean, look, it's fascinating, and I'm not surprised because again, like going back to Hook, it's your favorite movie of all time. So you're just full of hot takes.
Yeah. I guess so. Or mild takes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just wanted to clear that up because that just blew my mind. I was like, wow, Terminator 3 made you cry.
Yeah.
I have not seen
And you haven't seen
3.
Terminator 3.
Have you seen any of them?
Oh yeah. Trust
Really?
me. I made sure. I was like, we have to
Okay.
watch 1 and 2. We have to
1
watch
and
at
2,
least
yeah.
1 and 2. I think we skipped 3, 4, and 5, and I was like, we'll probably watch Dark Fate
Yeah, so that's all I've seen, those 3.
because that brings back Linda and James Cameron's
Right.
like a producer and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's not the true third movie in my opinion. Still, so far, that doesn't exist. But
So to you, there are still only 2 then.
it's only 2.
2
Yeah.
and a half.
Yeah. And honestly, that is true for me as well. Even though I've seen the third one a lot and generally like it, the first 2 are the goats.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just like, to me, 3, it doesn't feel like the Cameron world. And to me, it's obvious that he's not directing. Like,
Right.
I feel like I could not know who the director was, watch Terminator 3 and go, I don't know who this is, but I can tell you right now, this is not James Cameron.
Not Cameron. Yeah. I agree with you there.
So
I say 2.5 because T2.
yeah. Speaking of like theme parks and everything, did you ever ride the T2?
I honestly can't remember. Was it still open in 2011? Do you remember?
yeah.
Because that was the last time I was there. Okay,
Yeah.
then I feel like I'm actually, yeah, I do remember going on it now. Yep. Yes, I did do that. But yeah, it was kind of interesting because it was more like a movie, you know, I, I don't know. When you think of theme parks, you think of like rides and things like that, but it was just more like you're
It was
sitting
like
in a seat watching
Yeah.
3D stuff
Yeah.
with, or 4D, I guess is kind of how it was.
Yeah, it was a stunt show mixed with
Right.
like a short film that James Cameron directed, and
Right.
so it's still not canon because there's some stuff in there, and I could go down a whole like rabbit hole of what, like, right out of the gate. I don't know if you remember this or not, but like there's a moment in that attraction, we'll call it, where Arnold comes back from the future. Do you remember that? And
I don't know.
he comes back through the time, like you know, that little bubble that he always appears out of.
Right.
But instead of being naked, which is the rules, right? You have like you can't bring any clothes or anything with
Right.
you. He comes through on a freaking motorcycle, fully clothed. So right out of the gate, it negates any rule that was established in the first two movies. So,
And Cameron directed that.
Cameron directed it. I mean, look,
He
you
just
can't have a
ignored it.
naked guy at a theme park attraction.
Right. Exactly.
So I understand what, he had to take some liberties, but
Right.
yeah, I thought it was because it's gone from Orlando, it's gone from Hollywood. The only place it still was playing was in Japan, but you just recently told me that it's not even in Japan anymore. It got gutted in Japan too. So
fairly recently.
Yeah, like during the pandemic, I think is when it shut down. So
you probably watch it on YouTube still, I'm sure, right? A lot of people vlogged that back in the day, right?
Yeah. So it's 100% a relic of the past.
Yeah.
But now in Orlando, what replaced it was the Jason Bourne show. It's like another stunt show.
Okay.
And
yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Shrek that took that over or not.
No, that got turned into, because now that's gone. And that's being turned into another Minions ride.
Oh gosh. Yeah. The place is looking like they're trying to turn it into a Minions park.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. The entry
your daughters
point,
would love it.
what it looks like. What's that?
I'm sure your daughters would love it.
Well, we've been very successful at keeping them away from Minions. I think we're we actually haven't even seen them ourselves, but we just have an idea about them that we don't like them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't know anything about Minions. They've seen them every once in a while and they're like, what are those things? And then, we'll say, oh, it's from a movie. And, they've kind of learned through periphery, but they don't have enough friends yet that are into it to sort of influence them into liking them. I'm sure it'll eventually invade our house, but so far we are Minion free here.
That's good parenting right there. Good parenting.
But I will say, as an adult, I do enjoy the first Despicable Me.
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah, it's not a bad movie. I mean,
Yeah.
like Steve Carell. I mean, you already got me in the seat because of him.
It's the Steve Carell character. What's his name? Gru.
Yeah.
It's that Gru character that that's the hook for the adults.
Right.
So, yeah, I agree. I think I've seen the first Despicable Me, and it's fun. It is fun.
I mean, it's got its funny moments.
As long as Gru is in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those Minions spinoffs. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Those Minions spinoffs.
I think I tried watching the first Minions movie just out of like joke, and
Right.
I think I'm now dumber than I was prior to that.
Like that judge on Billy Madison.
Right.
This entire room is now dumber for having heard you. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Dude who loves movies. When I first met Derek, he reminded me of a young Peter Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. I get so okay. Peter, he is the one from Garden State, right? He's like not those Nordic boys. He's an American, I think, right?
I have no idea who we're talking about.
Let me look that up.
I have a vague recollection of who we're talking about.
Let's pull him up.
Only
I
because
think he's in that movie, An Education. I think he was the villain in Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern movie. Yes. Okay. Peter Sarsgaard.
Okay.
Okay. Do I look like him?
pull up like an image.
Yeah, hold
where he
on.
has a
Like I'm
beard.
looking at him right now. Let me share the screen here.
Oh, he's married to Maggie Gyllenhaal.
So this is apparently who Cody thought you were. Let's go with some facial hair. Like, let's go with this. I guess.
Yeah.
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 Actually,
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
he's a
Maybe if
cool
you shave
enough
your
guy.
head. Actually, wow. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. I see it.
He sees it.
Were either of you Lost fans?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay. There's a character named Faraday that people would always say I look like him, and I used to have very long hair, like down to the bottom of my back when the Lord of the Rings movies and Pirates of the Caribbean came out. So everybody was like, "You look like Legolas. You look like Will Turner from the Orlando Bloom characters." And I was like, "Do I look like them, or do I just also have long hair? Like, which is it?" Because I don't really think I look like Orlando Bloom, but man, in the periphery now, I can kind of see me looking like Peter Sarsgaard in the eyes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! Like, if I don't look directly at me, I see it. That's weird.
Laren just watched your episode of Hux Trivia.
Oh gosh. Oh, that was so bad. That my internet was so awful. It was embarrassing. I felt so bad. I felt like I was ruining the show. Huck, though, is like such a fantastic master MC. He kept things rolling, but I was just I just kept popping out. I was like walking around my entire house trying to get a connection. It was so I felt so bad. I thought I was ruining everything, but he was really cool about it.
I was going to say, I feel like Derek's internet connection is on point today.
Yep. My wife's laptop.
That's the key.
I see that black screen on StreamYard as well. I definitely need a new laptop.
Yeah, it might be older stuff.
10 years in computer years is the same as doggy.
No, it is.
So
Dell on movies. Eddie, the push-up video was troubling. Wasn't sure if I should laugh or cry. Glad you lived through it.
That's a good way.
I gotta watch that still.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure if I should.
40 push-ups I had to do. And I am not in shape. I've realized I'm not. I shouldn't have done 40 push-ups, but I will honor it this month. So if you want to see me struggle with some more push-ups, but like seriously, like the next morning I woke up and like all right here was like killing me. I was like,
oh man,
wow, I am really out of shape. Like I'm a really good runner. Like I excel at running, and I think that's it. I think that's it.
Make note, I've never seen this man run in my life.
I mean, yeah, I can run. I can definitely run. But there was a funny enough, believe it or not, Dell, and anyone that else that watched that video, there was a time in my life where I was like addicted to wanting to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Shut up.
Like I wanted to look like Arnold, and
Yeah.
I actually like bought a gym membership. I like did all this stuff, and then I think I went one day and I was like,
get a load of this.
I was like, yeah, this is not going to work out. This is. I don't understand the drive, you know, like, and plus I don't have, I'm sure steroids played a big part in Arnold's career, but yeah, I don't know. Are you a worker outer? Do you go to the gym?
Outer.
I really, I only have once since the pandemic. Well, no, actually, I kind of actually got into it during the pandemic when my kids were napping. I started working out during their naps, and then when they stopped napping, I haven't worked out since, except for 2 days ago. I got on the stationary bike, and I was like, I should probably get back into this. But I couldn't. I used to do it for a whole hour, and I could only do 20 minutes, and that was rough.
Yep.
So no, I don't work out.
What about you? Do you think you could do like?
I used to be a gym rat.
40 push-ups?
I used to go to the gym like every other day.
You could do 40 push-ups?
Now I don't know, but back like when I was going avidly, for sure.
Wow.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know what I would rather do, a push-up or a pull-up.
I don't think I have ever done a pull-up. Maybe
not even in like high school in gym?
No, I was never really a fit person. I played soccer too, so I didn't care about my arms at all.
But it wasn't like required? Like
no, because my school's really, really small, so we had like it wasn't attached to the school. It was like a league thing that our town put together. and then we would play other rural towns that would put together a league. But our schools weren't big enough to support that as a true school sport. So it was like more put on by our town.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we didn't actually work out at all. It was just like practice and games.
Okay.
Yeah, I never been able to do a pull-up.
Yep. Yeah, maybe pull-ups are because it's quite literally just
It's your entire weight.
entire body. Whereas I think the push-up is more just
because you're more balanced.
Yeah. Because I was like thinking, like, you know, Laren suggested, because we were talking about it, he was like, maybe do sit-ups for this month.
Oh, that's definitely easier.
Yeah, maybe do some sit-ups. I was like, we'll do push-ups for June. We'll do push-ups for June.
Jumping jacks for June.
Jumping jacks. Hey, Tony, Basement Blues. What's going on?
Tony.
Yeah.
Always a favorite of ours. Popeye with Robin Williams doesn't get any love.
It really doesn't. I think that one was kind of a bomb too. I think Robin was scared that he like ruined his career because that was like his first feature film.
Definitely, yeah. It was like one of the first for sure.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that bombed and he was like terrified, like, oh shoot, this is how I'm starting out, you know, in this portion of the business. But yeah, I think it's really good. You go back and that's a Robert Altman movie.
Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's I like it. I remember my stepmom showed me that one and I thought it was really cool. I mean, they both had their characters exactly right. Everybody nailed their characters and the sets were really cool. I love the sets.
Yeah. I have a feeling because since you are a theme park guy, we'll keep going back to the theme park stuff because I know you went on it last time. Have you been on at Universal the Popeye ride that they have? It's like a water ride.
Yes. Yeah. I remember doing that one. Is that one in Islands of Adventure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I went to Islands of Adventure, I think the first year or second year it opened. And then also the first year Harry Potter stuff opened over there. Okay. But yeah, I remember going on that water ride and that was a lot of fun. And then, yeah, my second time, that's the one with the round thing. Yeah. When I remember going on it back in 2011, I had my umbrella with me. I pulled out my umbrella and put it above me. And then the cast members, you know, they found some bridge to hang over and they were yelling at me, put your umbrella away. You can't do that. Put your umbrella away. But yeah, I was trying to avoid getting wet on a water ride.
That's like impossible on that ride. Like my cousin and me, because we took her for her Sweet 16, us two, we went on it. And I had never been because this guy just doesn't like that much water. And I don't know what I was expecting because like you're really like meh when it comes to water. So I don't know, because I'd been on like the river adventure and that's not really bad. And then Dudley Do Right's also not that bad depending on where you sit. So I was going in with sort of like whatever expectations. And oh my God, we were like
drenched.
We were like every corner we turned was like, oh dear God.
Yeah.
Right.
We were laughing.
It can't get any worse and it gets worse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You were drenched on that one. From what I remember.
Yeah. And I was wearing Converse, like, you know, the cloth material.
Yeah.
I was squishing the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know, Derek, are you the same? Like, I'm not a fan of like, I understand why they exist at these places because it gets super hot out there. Yeah. So it's a good way to cool down.
Oh, I was cool the rest of the day.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of walking around wet. Like, unless I'm at a water park. You know, a water park's different. But if like in my clothes, I don't want to just walk around in my clothes soaked. And I know they have like, they're called people dryers. You can like pay $2 and step into this like thing that just blows hot air all over you.
Well, so yeah, I don't really, I mean, I used to love them as a kid, but then yeah, like getting into my 20s, I was like, I don't like you. I don't want to be walking around wet because your socks don't dry out. And then your shoes, you don't want to be like barefoot in your shoes, or I don't. I just don't like that feeling. But I just became a Croc person during my last visit to Disney World. I bought some of their Crocs for their 50-year anniversary line. Mm-hmm. And I think I could probably get back into water rides because of Crocs.
Those are Crocs.
Yeah, I just, those will dry out very quickly. And I think the clothing I would assume would, because it's hot Florida. So I think I could do a water ride in Crocs.
Yeah, just as long as you're not wearing a jean sort of material.
Yeah.
That, because like my shirt dried almost instantly, but I was wearing jean shorts and that they were damp even when by the time we got home.
Oh, yeah.
Like I felt dry, but like I still had to peel them off.
Right. So like a khaki or something, like a
Yeah.
cloth khaki type thing.
Or like a gym short, because that's what he wears.
Yeah.
And then the worst part is when you get off those rides and then you go into like one of the indoor rides, it's like they usually have AC pumping.
We went
Right.
into Spider-Man.
So you're freezing the second you get in there, I don't know. I was like, you all go ride. I'll get a churro. Have fun.
You didn't even get a churro.
Yeah, I don't know. But what was I going to ask? Oh, does Hook like default as your favorite Robin Williams performance, or is there something else?
Yeah, it does anyway, not just because it's my favorite. I like seeing the two sides of him. Workaholic and kind of a frustrated father, annoyed father, and then him as Peter Pan and him as a joyful father, So I think we get a lot of different versions of him, and I think he sells the shift to each one really well.
Interesting. Laren says that's how I feel about most of what Ebert has to say about film. I guess it's not accurate.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with him a lot, but the things I am very passionate about, like Shyamalan, I do disagree with him. Like, it's weird. I'm usually just the general movies. I'm like, yeah, I get that. But yeah, Hook and then a lot of his Shyamalan reviews, I'm like, no, I just think you're getting it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't appreciate it enough.
Roger Ebert is the GOAT. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not really into film criticism, but Roger Ebert is definitely a household name.
Yeah,
exactly, for sure. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, being from Illinois, it's like how famous is he actually?
Yeah,
it's kind of like
the movies.
Michael Jordan was sort of the same way. It's like, does everybody actually love Michael Jordan, or is it just like it feels that way to me because I'm from Illinois?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, actually, I keep thinking you are Florida because I see your theme park vlogs. But yeah, okay. I was gonna say, so like Shaquille O'Neal, maybe he would be like the GOAT to you, or Penny Hardaway or something like that. But I don't even know. What is your basketball team? Do you have one? I'm not even a sports guy.
Basketball in Florida, it's Orlando Magic.
But in Georgia, is there one like?
In Georgia, I have no clue.
Well,
yeah,
I guess for me that would have been like LeBron James because I'm from Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah, when people were like freaking out about him, I'm like, people know, like people like Cleveland, Ohio.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm always a little skeptical, or questioning anyway. Like, does everybody know this person, or is it just because I'm from here?
Yeah.
The X-Men films were enjoyable. Yeah, for sure. Like, they are blind spots in my personal film journey. So I have to, at least the first two, right? Those are the good ones.
Yeah, and then there's one called Days of Future Past, which is also really good, and one called First Class, which is really good, and then Logan.
Which is really good.
Yes.
Yeah, Logan's like fantastic.
But we stay away from The Last Stand, right?
I think it like Terminator 3 has some of my favorite moments, but the film as a whole, it's not that good.
Okay. Hey, speaking of Hook, hey, party people. Hey, Mr. Hangout, give me one of those amazing trademark stash curls.
There we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was gonna put it up today, but with the kids being sick and everything, they took up all day.
Now, do you ever we'll say this year? Do you see this facial hair sticking around, or is it going at some point?
Well, like the mustache, I'll keep around. It's sort of become my trademark. My first one, I think, was maybe in 2003 or 4. My first curly mustache. But the beard comes and goes. My wife really likes it, so I'll grow it out for her in the winter a lot of times.
Winter.
But she doesn't want to see this go. But I'm probably gonna hack it off pretty soon.
How long does it take for you to grow that mustache if you were to shave it down?
I don't know. Actually, I feel like pretty quick. Maybe a month and a half. I could probably start giving it a curl. Obviously, not this long, but I could probably put some wax in it and get it going.
So what are we looking at right now? What is this, like 2 years kind of thing?
Well,
3
this
years?
one I've had for probably 4 years. Before I even started YouTube, I was growing this out.
Okay.
So, but I've trimmed it. I don't
Yeah.
always put it up, so a lot of times when I'm eating a sandwich or something like that, and I don't have my trusty clothespins with me, and I'm not putting it up, it'll tear. So it's not the healthiest right now.
I think you just blew our mind with the clothespins.
Yeah. So when these are down and you got to eat, I keep these with me everywhere I go. Try to. And then now I did both. So this is also for Cody. I don't know if you saw in your post, Cody was like, maybe it was my post. I can't remember. He was like, you got to bring those clothespins. So now I can eat a sandwich and not have
It
mustache going in also.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
I love that. I absolutely.
Do you
love that.
I know, like, I have a bad habit of doing this. It's like more of just like I guess it's a tick. I don't know. But do you like I'll kind of like chew the mustache hair?
Yeah. I try to avoid it, but it does happen.
Yeah. You don't ever want me to get to that level.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I asked how long it took to grow that, because you've gone a pretty long time before doing anything with your facial hair, and you've never gotten even close.
Yeah. It's kind of bizarre how it all fluctuates for each dude, you know?
Yeah, and I think my mustache even like plateaus. Like I think it just sort of stops, because there are people with much better, fuller, thicker, longer mustaches that have only had theirs for maybe 2 years or a year, and this one's at 4, maybe 5 years, but it's nowhere as great as other people out there.
And we actually are kind of twinning on right around here. I have a lot of gray hairs coming in right around here.
Those are semi recently. I blame the kids.
What do you blame?
You. No, I blame Savannah. I blame Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm just at the age now, so bound to happen.
Cody, his favorite are the Keatons as well.
Yeah.
My boy Tim Burton.
Batman is in the top 10 favorite movies for sure. Yeah. I mean, just from a score alone, like the Danny Elfman score, it's so iconic and recognizable.
Yeah, we still got those epic scores like that.
Nah, they don't make those now. Fave Marvel, Infinity War. Fave DC, The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight's my favorite Batman. Christian Bale.
Derek, I know you've done a series of paintings on Weekend at Bernie's. Have you done any other art based on films?
Yeah, actually. I got a bunch of them over here. I'm getting real close to you as I grab those. Oh, so Haley, you like Tim Burton, right? He's your favorite?
He is my favorite. Oh, I didn't know you did art.
Yeah, painted Beetlejuice there.
What sort of canvas is that on?
Well, that I paint on something called masonite board. Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah, that one was on masonite board. But I also paint on paper, and this one, this is just the painting was on masonite board, and then I photographed it, put it in the computer, and then printed it out on like a card. So this is actually a card.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what is that? It looks
And
like
then-
watercolor.
Acrylic, but I
Acrylic.
paint kind of like watercolor. Flight of the Conchords. Anybody watch that?
No, but
Yeah.
that's a phenomenal painting.
What else? Jurassic Park fans out there?
Jeff Goldblum. Very good. Yes, very good.
Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, of course, Michonne.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, those are all prints though of originals. But I also like, so this is how big they are when I actually paint them.
Wow, that's
Whoa.
Newman, right? That's Newman.
Well, it's Nedry from
Nedry.
yeah.
Okay. Nedry and Jurassic.
Yeah,
Park.
Wing Knight.
Yeah.
You didn't say the magic word.
Oh wow, a lot of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, did a little series on that one too.
Huh.
So your go-to is portraits?
That's kind of what I do for money, I guess. Like those sell better than like the art that I.
What do you have, like an Etsy?
More like conceptual and stuff like that.
What do you have, like an Etsy shop?
No, my wife and I will just like go to markets, and then we have a booth that we'll put up and sell that way. She's a watercolor artist and sells her stuff, and then she was like, well, you know what, we could probably sell your stuff here too. So we added my stuff to it as well. So we just sell our paintings at various markets.
Have you guys ever been to Savannah?
She has, I haven't. Wait, Savannah? No. I've been to Alpharetta.
Because I mean, like, I go to SCAD, the art school here.
Oh yeah?
And I mean, the market for artists, like, there's like I don't think it's every Sunday, but at least like every other or something. In the park downtown, there's just like people who set up stands, and the public will just walk by, like, to buy like your portraits.
Right.
I forget like what they call it, but it's really neat. And I mean, there's the market for it because everybody here is an artist.
Yeah.
True.
I feel like you guys would really appreciate this.
Yeah,
sort of
I know my wife loves Savannah. She's been there. She's only had great things to say about it. But yeah, I haven't been there yet that I recall. Anyway.
Yeah.
What do we got? Dude who loves movies. If you watch any two videos from Pure Hangout, Derek talking about Homeward Bound and the video where he eats Taco Bell.
Yeah, those are kind of famous, I guess, for my channel anyway. Yeah, the Homeward Bound one is when I started crying in the middle of my random ranking. I couldn't stop myself. I'm very sensitive with animals and movies that have animals in them. They're very difficult for me. And it wasn't always that way. I used to watch that movie all the time when I was a kid. But I don't know, just having so many animals, which you have to do when they're, on their last leg or whatever, it's just affected me too much, and it's too hard to I don't even want pets anymore because it's just too painful. The end is too painful. Outweighs the joy, I think. So yeah, I have that Homeward Bound movie where I'm just like bawling during it. Also, my Train to Busan review, I'm crying during that one. I'm quick to tears a lot of times. Terminator 3, right?
Hey, a real man cries. A real man cries and is not afraid to admit it. There's quite a few movies that can get me going. Dell on Movies is apparently a T3 fan. Don't get all the hate. Judd just wants to let us know that be right back.
BRB.
All right, thank you. Original hosts Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel, the former hosts of Sneak Previews on PBS 7582 and a similarly titled syndicated series 82 to something.
Sure.
Following Siskel's death in 99, Richard Roper replaced in 2K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Roper was pretty kind. He was a kinder critic, I think, to a lot of movies.
Cody, I'm actually someone who enjoys the Terminator movies, with Salvation being my least favorite. I'm also someone who loves Batman and Robin.
So we can take your opinion with a grain of salt.
Well,
is what you're
Salvation's
saying.
actually not that bad, so that's
Yeah,
funny.
I was
that
gonna
you
say I
say
kind
that.
of like Salvation.
Yeah, Salvation is so in my collection, like in my physical media collection, I have obviously multiple copies of 1 and 2, and I have Salvation and I have Dark Fate. I refuse to own Terminator 3, and I refuse to own Genesis. So
Yeah, Genesis. That was the one with
that's Amelia Clark.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that one. I think I fell asleep at the end.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
That is a rough movie. That's a rough movie to get there.
This actress, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's Sarah Connor. Yep. Oh, that's right. Shrek did take over the Alfred Hitchcock attraction show. That's right.
Oh, I remember that.
Yep.
The Alfred Hitchcock one. My very first visit was when I was a very young kid with my dad and stepmom and sister. And I remember doing the Alfred Hitchcock one because that was 3D also.
Was
right?
it? I never went on that one.
I'm pretty sure a portion of it. I remember birds flying at me anyway.
Okay.
And I remember they also had like sound effects and stuff you could do, and my sister volunteered to go up there. I was always too shy to do that when I was little, but I remember my sister going up there, and she, I think, made the sound of thunder or something for the movie. Yeah, I remember that. Wow, great memories.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of wild what they take away and then what they replace stuff with, you know?
Yeah.
And
I think the worst decision was getting rid of Back to the Future before 2015. I mean, that would have been a massive celebration.
Yeah.
For that ride.
Yeah, and putting the Simpsons in there.
Yeah. They should have held off just a little bit before doing the Simpsons stuff.
Yep. What do we got here? Minion free household. Yep. That's true. What is this? I used to power lift, but now I eat microwave nachos at 3 a.m. while watching YouTube.
As you should, Cody. As you should.
That's the happier life.
Like Colin said, that is the life.
That's the life, Lepke.
Mm-hmm.
Shelley Duvall was perfect in her role. Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Did you see there's a channel called the Grim Life Collective. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they just did a interview recently with Shelley Duvall. And it's you know what I'm talking about. She's like in her car.
Oh, that
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I did watch
like
that.
In her, like she was like filming a new movie, and they I guess I don't know if they were like a producer on it or something, but anyways, it's a great interview, but it's funny because he's standing outside of her van and she's sitting in her van the whole interview. She's like just in her van. And but yeah, it's a great interview. And because like there was that time where people thought, because of that Dr. Phil episode, that she was like, woohoo. I don't know if you remember that. Like she went on Dr. Phil, and
I didn't see that Dr. Phil now.
Yeah, like that whole episode made her look like a freaking nut.
Oh.
And I don't know how true it was. Like I'm sure there was some truth to it, but based on this interview I watched a couple months ago, she seems like she's doing okay now. So
yeah, I don't know how, but I did watch that car interview. It just I think popped up in my feed for some reason because I don't think I follow that channel. Yeah. But I watch a lot of Eddie Furlong stuff, his interviews. So I know Eddie Furlong is in that horror film that she's going to be in.
Yep.
So I think the algorithm shoved that one in my face, and I ended up watching it.
Man, damn algorithm. What do we got here? Crocs are the devil.
No, man.
No, Crocs are life.
I'm still wearing them. These are the 50th anniversary.
Still wearing them.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are someone that wears your shoes inside.
Well, I'm in the basement, so I will down here because it does leak every once in a while.
Okay.
So it's not the best floor.
Gotcha. But like in your actual house, you don't wear shoes?
No.
Okay.
Not anymore. Not since I was a kid.
Because look, I don't know like if people watch this a lot, but like look for it. But perfect example, Full House. Everybody in that show is running through that house with shoes on.
Wow. I never thought about that.
And I'm like, what? Like, come on, Danny Tanner. He's a freaking clean guy, and he's letting people run through. Like, everyone has shoes on.
You just blew my mind.
Would it be weird to watch a show?
It would be. I guess it would be weird to watch a show where people don't have shoes on, but I don't know.
What about the Connors on Roseanne? Because that family, what would they do? Like, because I know they want to be very casual. So you would think maybe they would, and comfortable, you would think they would take their shoes off, but at the same time, maybe they would not care about what their floors look like. So maybe they wouldn't care if shoes were on.
Well, I feel like that show is a little more zoomed in than like Full House is very pulled back. So I don't think you see their feet.
Yeah.
Well, because right now she kind of got me into the Golden Girls. Like I had never seen the Golden Girls at all.
Mm-hmm.
So like every night we'll watch an episode of the Golden Girls, and I can't think like off the top of my head. Have you seen or like are they wearing shoes in there?
Again, I think it's too zoomed in.
It's too zoomed in. Maybe heels. Yeah, maybe heels.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I've never understood that, and I've known people in my life that will just be like, "Yeah, come in." And I'm like, wait, like I'm gonna take my shoes off. They're like, you don't have to. I'm like, what?
You don't know where I've been walking?
You don't know what I've walked in. Like I've gone to public restrooms and I'm sure there's pee on the floor.
Nothing grosser than a public restroom.
Like, come on.
I remember like my house, same way, like no shoes, no nothing. But like if we were having an event, like having like all the family over for holidays or something, like because I mean, women would be like wearing their heels and whatnot. Like, I guess it would be too many shoes to just have laying around like in a garage or something. So everybody would come in with their shoes on. But then my Nana would spend, I mean, like an entire 24 hours worth hand scrubbing the floor afterward.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I know we are a household that takes their shoes off at the front door. That's where we leave them. Very good. Very good. So far, I love your household. It's minion free. You take your shoes off.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. But okay. I agree with Dell that they're the devil, but I've never actually worn them.
I thought so too until I bought these. They won me over.
A lot of Croc hate tonight. Wow,
yeah, I became a Croc guy at the parks. I wore them every day at the parks for a week straight.
They're good. Yeah, like I have a couple pairs of work Crocs, and they're great to work in.
So what Vin is talking about are these, I think they call them gibbets, maybe. So this is the monorail, the Disney monorail.
That's so cute.
And then you put them in the like the little holes.
Yeah,
and this one actually did. Yeah, this one came with another one that said Magic Kingdom on it in the old, princess font or whatever, Kingdom font. But I lost that one on the way to the airport. It fell off my shoe, so I took the other one off and I put it in my sock drawer. But oh, that hurt. It's somewhere at the airport.
Somebody probably swept it up.
You would,
probably got swept up. It's probably in a garbage landfill.
You would rather fly to Orlando than drive?
Yeah, well, I think honestly I would rather drive if I get enough time off of work and stuff, because I like to turn those types of trips into travel vacations also and make stops along the way.
Yeah.
But with the kids, that really wasn't going to be a thing because they were newly 3. They just turned 3 like a month earlier. So that was not going to be a fun drive. So we wanted to get to Orlando as fast as possible.
It was going to be like the Ice Cube movies. Are we there yet?
Right. But with crying. But like my wife and I, when we got married, our honeymoon was to Maine, but we drove and turned it into a road trip. Like we stopped in Cleveland. and went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and just
Yeah,
walked down the streets. I mean, I was watching the blue collar workers on beams building skyscrapers, and I was like tearing up. It was like, oh, this is America. This is like exactly the perfect vision of America right here. I don't know, I loved all of that Rust Belt stuff. It looked cool.
Yeah, no, like a good road trip is where it's at.
Yeah, we made so many stops on the way there, and then we spent our time in Maine,
For sure,
and then made the road a different path back home.
Apparently, look, Tracy's saying you remind her of Peter as well.
Wow.
Every kid in the 90s loved Michael Jordan.
Okay. Yeah, he was on McDonald's commercials.
Atlanta
Hawks. That's the basketball team. Okay.
That's who we have.
I was thinking that was football, but again, I don't know enough about sports to know. I talk like him too?
You talk like him too, apparently. Are you him in another dimension?
Perhaps.
A multiverse type deal?
I'm his doppelganger.
A month and a half to grow that mustache?
Well, not this one, but enough to get some curl going.
Okay. Thanks for showing those, Derek. Oh, I didn't know the missus was also an artist.
Yep. She does watercolor.
Near Alpharetta, Derek.
Okay. Yeah, my uncle used to live there. So when I made a road trip to the parks like 10, 11 years ago, we stopped in Alpharetta, stopped there, and then made the rest of the trip the next day. Spent the night at my uncle's place. I like Alpharetta. That was really nice.
Derek, does your shirt say "Got Mama"?
It says Mothman.
Mothman.
I love it.
Actually, we got this on the road trip to our to our honeymoon. We stopped in West Virginia. Is that when we did that? I think so. Yeah, we stopped in West Virginia and went to the Mothman Museum because my wife really loves cryptids. Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
Mothman. He's a moth and a man. I said Mothman.
That is so cool.
Moth guy.
Oh, and then he said hot mama.
Hot mama.
I also love cryptids.
Yeah. Have you been to we went to the Cryptid Museum, Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine during our honeymoon. Have you done that?
Never been to Maine, but that's like a bucket list thing.
Yeah, go there. Stephen King lives up there. We went to his house.
You went to Stephen King's house?
No.
Well, the outside of it. There's a big old gate there, but took pictures. It's very cool. It plays to the fans, but you can see there's an extension behind it that's just a normal house. But the front is very like Munsters, Addams Family-esque.
Oh yeah. I'm sure he plays it up kind of deal,
Yeah. It was so cool though.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I've always wondered about that, like getting so big, so popular, and you live a normal life, so people know where you live. And like, what would that be like if you just look out your window and there's just people, chilling at your house?
Right. And I think that one's sort of like the house for the fans, because he has multiple homes. Like the one that remember when he got run over by a car checking his mail a few years back, or many years back now. That wasn't that house, but it was kind of the one he, I think, mostly resides in. So I think he has like the one that's like for the fans, and then one that maybe spends more time in, and then I think he like writes in a cabin somewhere else. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of him. Like I don't know everything about him, but that's a general idea as far as I understand it to be.
Yeah. Tony says, I saw that Shelley Duvall interview in her car. It was really good. Well, I remember watching it and going, like, this is like, why are we here right now? Like, was this the only spot she would agree to do it? Like,
yeah, it felt like she was on her way to get groceries, like pulling out of her driveway. And they're like, hey, by the way, hey, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can I do a full interview with you?
Yeah. Yeah. And the guy, I forget his name. I think it's Michael. He has the long hair. Great interviewer. Like, just like he's very calm and very slow with how he asks his questions. It was funny because to your point, it looked like she was in a rush. Like, can I go get my? And he's like, so everybody knows of The Shining. It's like, guy, can you get to your point?
Right.
But oh, okay. Grim Life is co-producing the movie. Edward Furlong's in it as well. Okay. I met Edward Furlong at Spooky Empire in Orlando, 2019. And I did a little interview with him for my podcast at that time. And I asked him about, because, you know, he gets endless questions about T2, American History X. But I was like, I want to know about your experience making T2 3D Battle Across Time for Universal Studios.
Right.
and you could tell he was like, oh, cool, great. Something that I don't talk about a lot.
Right.
So that was really cool, and took a photo with him. And
awesome.
Yeah,
he was in town. I found out way too late, but he was in town, I think maybe at the beginning of this year or the end of last year. And I actually found out about it on YouTube, and I was like, how did I didn't even know this convention was going on.
If you were to meet him, would you get a T2 thing signed or something else?
Detroit Rock City, or probably T2 or Detroit Rock City, one of those two.
Yeah, those are like his big. Well, it's T2, American History X, and then Detroit Rock City are the ones he gets the most. Laren says, does Derek have an email for his channel? Or just your email, I guess, if you feel comfortable saying it.
Yeah, I think it's either purehangout@gmail or pure.hangout. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say it because I don't know it, but
I don't know.
I can add it to my my YouTube channel
about section.
Yeah, I just haven't done that, but I probably should do that.
Well, try both of those, Laren, and you'll know if you get a response back.
Yeah.
A basement where the floors leak makes me pretty nervous.
Yeah.
He's on edge.
We just got cinder block walls, and when we have really big storms, the holes, the center of the cinder blocks do fill up. And then they sort of like, if there's a little hole in it, then like a little flow of water will shoot out of it. Just, like a cartoon with bullet holes in them, and then they take a drink and water comes out. That's kind of what happens down here.
Yikes.
Scary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you keep all your collectibles down. Well, I mean, I know you don't really have much of a choice, right?
Well, yeah, I don't have much of a choice, but it doesn't happen in this room. It happens in the room over there. So I know the locations where to watch out. So we have 3 rooms, and this one's safe.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
I agree, Tony. Yeah. Well, because we just had they just pressure washed our the building, like the apartment building that we're living in, and I woke up, to them pressure washing, and I came out, and I guess one of the windows that like these windows behind us, but the ones over there, one of them was like it busted in from the guy pressure washing.
Yeah.
I was like,
it was powerful.
I was like, dude. And there wasn't a lot of water, but there was some water on the floor. I was like, what if we had this setup?
And it was over there. It was over there, like not even 2 weeks ago.
Like,
right?
God. Yeah, I hate water. It this past Christmas, we came home to our apartment completely flooded.
Oh no!
Because we live on the bottom floor of a 3-story thing. Mm-hmm. That was wild. So,
yeah.
Water is not fun. That is for sure. Is it something you can fix? Like, is it fixable, or is you just deal with it kind of thing?
I think we could fix it. We would have to clear out the entire basement though, and that would be a massive undertaking. Okay. So
is your basement carpeted?
No, it's all concrete.
I was gonna say, if it was.
And then we have like a type of paint that is for concrete down at the bottom, on the floor and on the walls, but it doesn't fully do the job of keeping it dry. So I think we'd have to sandblast all of that off, and then there's some sort of material that does make a waterproof basement when you have concrete cinder block walls. So it'd be a giant undertaking. So it's easier to just prepare. when we know big rainstorm's coming.
Cody doesn't make people take their shoes off.
Now we know whose house we're not going to.
Cody. Well, Cody, you do strike me as someone who's just kind of like, yeah, come on inside, dudes and dudettes. Come on in, dudes and dudettes. Nadia, what's going on? The shoes on the bed would irk me so much. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Can't imagine.
I don't know about that. Also, hey, what's going on, Nadia? Speaking of road trips, we would totally do this, but it's way too far. But we'll be going over to California for Halloween Horror Nights this year. But that would be a fun road trip if we could actually do that. But
yeah, it would take
across the country.
That
40 hours,
literally cross country.
But that's like what? I think actually it's like 35 hours or something. But that's like booking it,
something like that.
But if you took your time, you could probably make a whole week out of it.
But to Derek's point, you got to make sure you have the time off.
Right.
And then to make it back.
In most shows, people keep their shoes on in the house because they're on a sound stage, and I get it. That's probably just the shoes they wore that day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can burn 4 hours watching Golden Girls.
Right?
Are you a fan of Golden Girls?
I haven't watched it since probably it was on, or the reruns that were happening while it was on, like in the day during the summers. As a kid, I'd watch it occasionally, but I never followed it,
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. Like, cause I don't know what spawned it, but we were talking about something. I know we did a Full House stream recently. Was that it? It was. Cause I think either Kevin or Nadia was like, you should watch Golden Girls. It's fun. For me, it's no Full House, but it's just, it all boils down to what you grew up watching.
Yeah. So, I love those Disney episodes from Full House. We show those to the kids. They love those.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are good. Blanche would not have shoes on.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like Sophia has slippers on at any given time. Which would make sense.
Golden Girls. And then there's a bunch of spinoffs apparently, but there's like a direct one called The Golden Palace. Did you know about that? Yeah, you didn't either. We were on Hulu because that's where it's streaming right now. And I was like, oh, The Golden Palace? What's this? It's like a sequel series to The Golden Girls.
No B. Arthur.
But no B. Arthur.
Oh, wow.
So
I don't think I know that.
Yeah. Matt Walls production. What's going on, Matt? Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah, we're hanging out with Pure Hangout. So
just hanging out.
The heck, come on. But Matt Walls, you were a contributor to the push-up video, so thank you for being here. Yeah. Cody was as well. Trying to think if anyone else that we've been talking to tonight has been contributing. I'm one to immediately take my shoes off when I get home and slip into my slippers. Nadia, I'm telling you, we're like
the same person.
The same person, but in a different body, because that's what I do. I put on slippers.
That's
what I do.
Scary. I don't.
I do in the winter.
No.
Illinois winter.
Tony, that's right. Blanche's feet were always pointing to the ceiling.
Stop. Stop. She's the human mattress.
Luke Ponto. What's going on, Luke Ponto?
Hey, Luke.
Yeah, I hope all is well with you as well, man. Maine's on your bucket list as well, says Nadia. Oh,
gotta go.
Alrighty.
Beautiful.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is for Cody. Thank you so much, Cody.
Thank you.
Pop quiz hot shot. All right, Dennis Hopper. Derek, hook or mustache? One has to go and never return. Which do you keep and which do you lose forever?
Good God.
Oh, wow. I mean, I'd keep hook. I'd get rid of my mustache. I'm not as attached to that as I am hook. Hook is a forever thing.
Hook's a forever thing.
Got Taddy here with me. I got one thing I can't show because I haven't made the video on it yet. I got the color forms here with me.
Ooh.
What else? I don't know. I got other things.
Now, to spawn off of this really good question, out of all of your hook memorabilia, So anything you have hook related,
Hmm.
let's say it's all on the floor of your basement and it floods, and you only have time to save one thing. What are you saving? Like before the water damages it.
Well, my VHS that I grew up with, it'd be
Okay.
that.
Mold forever.
Yeah, mold.
Yeah, I'd save that.
Do you put your VHSs in protectors, like those plastic protectors?
No, that'd probably be a good idea though to do that. But they're just as they were, all those years ago.
Yeah, there's a really good because I bought some recently for some of my VHS and some of her VHS. That's it's on eBay. They sell them in bulk. So
Okay.
they're pretty cool. All right, well, hold on, I got to make this because I don't ever want to forget how this stuff goes here.
The first
Cody,
donation
thank you
for
so much.
June.
Yeah, the very first. So that's 5 push-ups. 5 push-ups that yours truly has
Off to
to
a
do.
rough start.
We are off to a 5 I could do. Like if we end the month at 5, I'm good. Let
Can
me
we make
just
it 6?
dude who loves movies. There we go. Right there. That's my little list that I got going if it wants to focus, but probably doesn't. There we go. So, all right, we're off to a good start. Thank you so much, Cody. Appreciate that, man. Stephen King doesn't live in that house anymore. That's where he wrote his stories, I believe.
Okay.
So it's quite literally just a attraction,
Like a fan site. Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty busy.
That's wild that he makes that much money that he can afford to just have a vacant house.
Right.
Just kind of chilling there,
And there's a whole nother house on that property too, within the fence. So I don't know what that one is. And it's a little spooky too, but not as spooky as the main portion, the main house. But yeah, there are 2 there.
Tough decision for Derek. I guess it wasn't.
Yeah.
You were right on that.
Yeah.
Sprinkling walls where water spurts out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a once every 4-year thing. So
I think you're giving Tony PTSD over here.
Yeah. Well, with his amazing basement,
Hey, welcome, Tiana. Thank you for
Tiana.
being here. I don't know, Tiana. Like maybe you've watched, but have you participated in the chat before? I don't know. I think this might be your first time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I always like to make sure I say hi to the first time people. If this is your first time commenting. What do we got here? Derek, have you been keeping up with the burn pile?
Oh my gosh, that's a good deep cut. So in the summers, I help my mom over at the family farm to cut down like weeds that have overgrown throughout the year. I try and cut those down, or trees that grew alongside our outbuildings and things like that. And I cut those down and then put them in a giant burn pile. And then I usually like vlog those. And yeah, so those videos will be coming up probably more midsummer when I start doing that. I think I'll actually start going there maybe this Wednesday. I might head out there and start working, and then I'll create the pile of weeds and old trees and things like that to burn.
Very cool. Very cool. Cody doesn't want people walking barefoot on his nacho covered floors. It's chaos over here at the dude's cave.
Tony, you certainly do say things, and they do make me laugh.
He is funny. Golden Palace is decent. Feels weird without Dorothy.
Right? It's just, I can't imagine that.
So that sounds like a casino to me. What is Golden Palace about?
Yeah, the Golden Palace. Yeah, I don't know what it's about, but it's the sequel series to the Golden Girls.
Because you need Dorothy, because like, who else is going to give that look whenever somebody says something stupid? That looked like not directly at the camera, but just a little off. Just
Yeah.
So Blanche, Rose, and Sophia bought a new hotel, and it's severely understaffed.
And it's severely understaffed. So okay, so Nadia, so this sounds to me like Golden Palace is the equivalent of Fuller House, and it feels weird because Michelle's not in there.
Oh.
That's what I'm getting here. Golden Girls ended because B. Arthur was ready to leave. The Golden Palace was a way to keep the show going without her. It did not go well. So, I mean, I guess right there, it just kind of tells you that B. Arthur was the star. Is B. Arthur the Golden Girl?
The Golden
Or is it
Girl.
Betty White? Like, to me, like as an outsider, I would think it's Betty White.
She's the one who lived the longest.
The one that looks the oldest, I don't think she is the oldest, but the one that played the oldest, I always thought she was the funniest because she'd come out of nowhere with her jokes.
Yeah, she's like always like really grumpy. She's really grumpy.
She like wasn't a part of the scene, but then it'd cut to her because she'd have some zinger just waiting and always ready for it. Like, to me, that's why I would watch.
She is funny. Yeah, she is funny. Probably my least favorite one is that like country one.
Blanche?
Yeah, I don't like Blanche.
Blanche Devereaux. That's French for
no.
Blanche Devereaux.
It's a shame. It's a shame the Golden Palace didn't go on with B. Arthur and no Blanche. Great answer, Derek. Great answer, says Cody.
Good answer. Good answer.
Burn Piles return. Yes. Golden Palace was a spinoff show with the girls running a hotel. Okay. Golden Palace is 100% a random Chinese restaurant in every city in America. Oh my God. Or what is it in South Park? What the heck is it? That Chinese guy that runs it in South Park. What the heck is it called?
Oh no.
Something city, because it sounds like shitty.
Oh no. Ours is called Golden Harbor, actually.
Golden Harbor. Okay. Chinese shitty?
Shitty Walk.
Shitty Walk. Yeah, that's right. What was a Shitty Walk?
I think we also had a Golden Walk. I think so.
But it's funny because it's South Park, so they're being very offensive. And like he'll be like, "Would you like some shitty chicken?" It's awful, but it's funny. Golden Palace sounds like a restaurant. Yeah. Golden Palace is your Fuller House. Okay. Interesting. I actually have a Golden Palace Chinese restaurant near my house. That reminds me, I also have a big burn pile in my backyard.
Get to it. Burn that down.
Rose is my fave. She's kind of dumb.
She's kind of dumb.
Oh, so Rose is Betty White, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's to me it's like funny because to me Betty White is similar to Morgan Freeman, where I can't imagine them ever not old. Like still, like she still looks old in the Golden Girls.
And that was in like 85.
Yeah, like I can't imagine Betty White young. Like
right.
You know? Like it's weird. Like when you see young Morgan Freeman, like you go way back and look at young Morgan Freeman, it's like, whoa. Get old real quick for me, just get old real quick. If you watch any episode of Golden Girls, watch season 6, episode 6. It's hilarious from start to finish. All right, well, we're literally sequentialing this thing, so
yeah, I mean, I recommended that we jump, but he was like, no.
Shitty walk.
It's just called Chinese food.
It's just called Chinese food. Yeah,
it's so literal.
Well, I guess that's what when we come out in October, I guess that's where we'll have to go.
Chinese.
You want to get some Chinese food at Chinese food? How many episodes did it last? I didn't think it had 6 episodes. Oh God. All right, and I think we're caught up on the chat.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow, we went an hour 45, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. I feel like we just started.
You know, it's
you are wonderful hosts.
It does that, and we have to thank the chat. I mean, the chat is what really keeps this going. If fans of something, the channel is the heart, the chat is the blood. So that's how I think of it. Another Robin Williams movie I never heard anything about is The World According to Garp.
My wife loves that one. I think that might be her favorite Robin film.
Yeah, that one I haven't seen that one. Have you? The World According to Garp. That's another young early performance. I think it's a TV movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that right?
I think it is. Yeah. My favorite is 1 Hour Photo. That's my favorite Robin Williams.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He was really stretching there. There was some good acting muscles there.
Yeah, he's creepy in that movie. What's your favorite?
You know,
Is it Good Morning Vietnam?
that one stands out to me. I feel like I need to watch more of his filmography.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Toys.
That's a good one.
Woohoo!
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Smoochie. Yours isn't
Oh,
Smoochie.
Death to Smoochie is
Oh.
very underrated. Death to
Fern
Smoochie.
Gully.
Fern Gully. Yeah, that's right. He's in Fern Gully.
Robots also, right? That animated one, Robot.
He is in that one as well. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Very small part in AI.
Yep. He's that like floating, like I don't remember what it is, but it's like a floating hologram thing. I think.
Yeah.
Yep. He's in that. Yeah. He's got some weird ones. His very last movie that was released. I don't know if it was the last one he ever did.
Yeah.
It's called Absolutely Anything. And I think he's the voice of a
no.
dog
Oh yeah.
with
Oh.
Kate Beckinsale.
I thought you were gonna
Oh.
say Merry Freaking
No.
Christmas.
A Merry Friggin' Christmas isn't his last released movie. It might have been the last one he filmed, but the
Mhm.
last one that came out is called Absolutely Anything, and Robin Williams voices a dog.
Wow.
What a way to go.
Yeah, well, I know John Candy for years, his last role like isn't actually even released yet. It was animated film also. They like recorded his voice and everything. And I remember for years after his death, it was still like, we're still working on it. We're still working on it. But I don't think it was ever released. So I think it was, ultimately scrapped, but there's like his recording was done, but the movie never ended up happening. I can't remember if it was like another heavy metal or what.
I know
It
what
was.
you're talking about. What's it
Here,
called?
go ahead. Do your searching.
I don't know if it's still listed on his IMDb or not, but I remember it was there years after his death.
John Candy. All right, we'll go here for just a second. Filmography.
Scroll.
Yeah, no, his last movie, at least on Wikipedia, is Canadian Bacon.
No.
Canadian Bacon. Oh, really? Not Wagons?
Well,
Wagons East is second to last. That's 94. Canadian Bacon's 95.
if we're
Oh,
going by released.
Yeah. It Canadian Bacon says filmed in 93, released posthumously. Posthumously.
I love how you go released.
Yeah, because I don't know how to say that. Okay, posthumously.
Oh wait, go back to Google.
Go back to Google. Sorry, we got sidetracked with some candy.
Yeah.
No, just hit the end so I can.
Okay. I think it's called The Magic 7.
The Magic 7.
I think so.
Let's see. The Magic 7.
Okay, there's a dragon there. I think I remember it being about a dragon.
Smokestack Sam.
Is that who he's playing?
Slated to air.
It was supposed to come out in 2005. The film was again suspended.
Okay. Yeah. I remember
Awesome.
it was on his IMDb for the longest time, and then it just disappeared.
And music by Kirk Cameron. Wow. And Ice-T.
Oh,
Kirk
wait,
Cameron and Ice-T did the music.
Yeah. Wow.
I can't imagine.
Go to like images.
Images. This right here. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let's share this real quick. See if
Yeah.
we're thinking of the same thing. Right here. This right here.
Yeah, I think that's maybe the image I remember seeing. I remember there a dragon being involved anyway.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it because I like looking at lost media pertaining to film
Mm-hmm.
and being animation. This popped up on my radar.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird seeing him with a facial hair. Weird seeing him with facial hair.
Yeah, I think that was for Wagons East.
What do we got here? Last few comments, and then we are going to wrap this up, ladies and germs. This was a great time, says Laren. Thank you so much to all three of you. Have Derek back again soon. Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
I'd love to. It was a lot of fun.
We're kind of easing up, like I told you, Laren. We're kind of easing up on those super giant mega streams because they are
Take a lot of energy.
well, first it takes a lot of scheduling, and I noticed it just like there's a lot of talking over kind of thing, and I don't know. I like the intimacy of 1, 2, 3 kind of guests, So, wow, I'm at work, so an hour and 45 with nothing done.
Sounds like a good job.
It wasn't a TV movie. Okay, it's rated R. It teaches a valuable lesson to not always coast your car down a hill. Derek, ask your wife. What does that
That's my
mean?
wife. Okay, because I haven't seen it. She's always, getting on me. You got to watch it.
Okay.
Oh,
So good.
I thought that was like a diss or
Yeah,
something.
like Ed put me on to Moscow on the Hudson. Love that film. Yes.
Okay, I remember Vin talking about that one. That's one I want to see.
Yeah, well, Vin put me on to Cadillac Man. I love Cadillac Man. I put him on to Moscow on the Hudson. He loves Moscow on the Hudson. So that was a good like switch of Robin Williams movies we had.
Little movie trade, Adele movie swap.
Yeah. Derek, are you talking about that movie where Robin plays the dog's voice? Yeah. Well, that's the that's what it is. Absolutely anything. That's what it's called. I think the world needs Kirk Cameron and Ice-T.
Yeah.
It is
Show me
solid.
that smile again.
Perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for some more
Pure Hangout.
Pure Hangout. Subscribe if you want to. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah,
No pressure.
only if you want.
Alrighty, and I think that's a beautiful way to wrap it up. So, everybody, first and foremost, thank you for hanging out with us tonight on this Friday night. Thank you to Cody for super chatting in. That was very nice. But thank you to everybody that just felt comfortable enough to type. And we'll be back with our next stream. Well, we have to do our monthly kind of wrap up of every movie we watched. But so I don't know when that's coming out, but our next scheduled live stream is June 9th. So 1 week from today.
I realized that's 6-9.
We're going to be talking to Greg Sestero, the guy who wrote The Disaster Artist. He played Mark in The Room. He's going to be on the channel. And we're going to be having a nice evening with Greg Sestero. So all you Room fans, all you Disaster Artist fans, I know that's a popular A24 movie. So look forward to that next Friday night at 7 p.m. That is when that's happening. And Derek, what do you have coming up on your channel?
Excuse me. June 21st, 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be over at KB Loves Movies for the conversation. So I'm excited to do that. And I think that's all I have lined up for the future. But yeah, my burn pile videos will probably approach around midsummer once I grow that burn pile. Then we'll burn it down.
Very cool. Wow, you haven't been on? You haven't been on the KB conversation?
No, not till this month it'll happen.
All right. Well, better late than never. It's going.
No.
Did you get that? Sorry to interrupt, but did you get the Mothman? Was that at the museum? Have you been to that museum in West Virginia?
No, I actually got this online. It's a popular brand, Squishables.
Okay.
So blown out.
That's another museum you should hit up, along with the crypto.
Man, that's like really bright. Yeah, they have a bunch of like plushes. Like I had pre-ordered this one when he came out, but they have a bunch of like all different kinds of little guys, like
That's awesome.
cryptids.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I can let my wife know about that. She got me into them.
Yes, Laren, we finished Dog Soldiers. Derek, have you seen Dog Soldiers?
Is that with?
It's that werewolf movie. It's a werewolf movie.
Dog Soldiers with maybe not. I don't know if I do know that one. Did that come out in the 90s?
No, it's like early 2000s.
Okay, no, I don't know it.
Okay. Yeah, we did finish it, Laren. We'll be talking about it on our stream. Caveman says, great stream. Great job, Derek.
Appreciate it.
Good night. Good night. Midsummer burn piles.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah. Derek is going to be on the conversation. Yeah, that's what I was like. Wow, you haven't been on yet?
Yeah. I mean, I still feel kind of new to like being in the streaming verse with everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, better late than never. So
yeah.
When is that again? June 21st?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Well, stick around. We'll do a formal goodbye. But thanks for hanging out with us, man. And,
yeah, thank you so much for having me on. This was amazing. This was a lot of fun. It really did just fly by. I would have guessed maybe 25 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're approaching 2 hours. So everybody, thank you for being here with us tonight. And until we see you in our next video, live stream, whatever it might be, one thing you have to do, and that is keep being fans of something.